I'm very privileged to be here, especially speaking at a chair established in the name of Muhammad Abdul Rahim. I instantly related to Muhammad Abdul Rahim because my father also went to jail. He was also a freedom fighter. He also fought not just the British, but many evils in the society. So it's a sort of homecoming for me to be here. Professor Mujib Rahman, I broadly understood what you said. I've been coming to Kerala so often these days, thanks to my friend Sudhira, that I started picking up a bit of Malayalam. I can understand Malayalam. If you speak in Malayalam, I understand. But if I speak in Malayalam, you can't understand. Therefore, allow me to speak in English. Professor Mujib Rahman had given the outline of what is happening with ICHR, what's happening with NCART, what's happening under the present dispensation. I will broadly focus on the project. What is the project? And why do we see this in a very virulent form now? I say this that we see this particular phenomenon of changing the way history is looked at, the way it is written, the way it is taught, the way it is projected, and the way that the regime wants people to remember certain things and forget certain other things. These are the main things. Why do they want to do that? The project is that this society should be a Hindu majoritarian society. That's the project. The reason why they want to make this a Hindu majoritarian society as well as a state. Not just state, a society also, is because they never shared this idea of India which is secular, democratic, plural, diverse and federal. This has never been shared by the people who are now in power in Delhi. They've never shared this. Professor Mujib Rahman would know much better than I do because he's a student of history. That looking at Indian history from this perspective, from this point of view, also is not very new. It's been there. Many people have written with this perspective in mind earlier also. One name that probably comes to our mind is R.C. Majumdar. And so there are so many other people. The point I'm trying to make is that this trend, this element in our society has always been there. Balagangadhar Tilak wrote, so many other people wrote. Starting from who are Aryans, where did they come from? Did they invade? Did they come from the West? Or are we ourselves Aryans? And an attempt to make Aryans not as speakers of a language called Indo-Aryan, but a racial group. It's been there for a long time. And it will be there. Please do not expect a day that it will completely obliterated, completely vanish from India, from the academia, from the libraries. It won't go away. Somebody or the other will go on and on with this idea as they have been going on and on with this idea. Therefore, the mission and the project is to make India into a Hindu majority state as well as a Hindu majority society. How does one do that? Today there are attempts, very vigorous attempts, at establishing a cognitive, epistemological, and knowledge hegemony. Please understand this. You know, whatever we see, the deletions in NCERT textbooks or the research focus of ICHR or ICCR, the funding preferences, the funding choices, and the projects that are selected, and the research agenda in universities and think tanks, and the support and sponsorship of the government and the government departments are all part of it. We should be aware of the larger project and the larger purpose. You know, when I saw that at the beginning of the 75th anniversary of India's independence, which is called Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the ICHR, Indian Council for Historical Research, had brought out a poster. The poster did not have the picture of Jawaharlal Nehru. Can there be anything more odd than that? Because the 1929 Lahore resolution, which was moved under the presidency of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru of the Indian National Congress session, was the one which called for Purna Swaraj. So when we are celebrating 75 years of that dream and that call and that mission, after its realization, 75 years after its realization, ICHR brings out a poster without the picture of Jawaharlal Nehru. Why? One is, as I spoke about, that in order to turn India into majoritarian society as well as majoritarian state. The other one is slowly and slowly take away that part of history of modern India in which they are not a part. That's very important. Why do you hate Nehru? Why do you hate all these people? It's because you're not part of that. Because you're not part of that, somebody whom you can co-opt, you co-opt. But somebody who is so loud and clear, who cannot be co-opted, you hate and obliterate. Take them away. This is the another purpose. What are the instruments? Poster is a small instrument. But, of course, textbooks are a very important part. And what do textbooks do? Textbooks are now reinventing the past. They're trying to tell you a different version of the past. Now, there are different purposes for this. One is to reinvent the past. The second one is to obliterate those people who played a major and important role in that past, to take them away because they can't be co-opted. And whoever can be co-opted, they are even co-opting Subhash Chandra Bose. I heard that they are co-opting Bhagat Singh also. Because they cannot co-opt Jawaharlal Nehru, they would like to take him out of it, obliterate. So textbooks, of course, and influencing public discourse through social media. Please don't underestimate, my request to Professor Mujib Rahman and Dr. Sri Kumar is, don't only focus on the NCERT and ICHR and things like that. You know, these days, there's a lot of history. There's one more university. What is the university? New university which has come up. WhatsApp University. Are you aware of WhatsApp University? No, WhatsApp University has so much of history. It teaches entire political science. So that is one more. And you know, there is a new crop of historians. They are not trained. But you know, they are now placed in different universities, in different departments. They have lateral entries. There's so many things happening. So there is a popular version of history is coming out, which are very influential. And then those books become raw material for the WhatsApp University. And you have, at the same time also, the changes in the textbooks. Please also do not limit our understanding of what is happening to the past only to removal of certain chapters or adding of certain chapters of history. There is also a huge attempt to give you a different version of science and technology. This is another important thing. There is also an attempt to give a different version of mathematics. What is now called, Tusharji, is Vedic mathematics. There is also an attempt to give us a different version of surgery, medicine, physiology, rocket science, and a whole lot of other things. Even atom theory. So, the reason why I said that, the attempt is to establish epistemological knowledge hegemony is this. It is not just taking away or changing the names of certain cities, taking away the chapters relating to Mughals. It's not just that. It is a whole thing. It's a very holistic thing. Please do not underestimate this. And it is also visible now that even language slowly and slowly a Sanskritized Hindi is now coming about. It is no more Hindustani. It is no more Istifa, it is Tyagapatra. It is no more Magar, it is Lekin. There's a host of other things. Slowly and slowly, even the language is supposed to be purification of Hindi. Purification of what? From what? What are they taking out? They are taking out all the Urdu words because they want to establish that Urdu belongs to a certain population, belonging to or worshipping in a certain way, worshipping a certain religion, belonging to a certain religion. So there is a huge project of reconstructing history, science, technology, mathematics, etc., cosmology, etc., etc. And then at the same time also reconstructing the Hindu identity. Now, what is Hinduism now? Hinduism is Ram. A very, very aggressive, angry Ram. A very aggressive, very angry Hanuman. Anybody will be very, very angry. It is not Dasharadhi, Karna, Payonidhi. It is not, Karuna Rama. It's not the Rama of Tyagaraja anymore. It's a different Ram. And to the exclusion of everybody else, that is also a reconstruction of history. That is also happening. It's not merely the textbooks. Textbooks are an important part, but a small part. But this is a whole comprehensive project to make India a very, very homogenized majority and a villainous minority or minorities. You can amalgamate some whom you cannot amalgamate, villainize them. That is the project. Therefore, language is identified, the habits are identified, practices are identified. Who are you? You are somebody who is turning your karma bhumi may be here, but your punya bhumi is elsewhere. That is the slogan of Golwalkar. Why? If I say that I am born here, you are born here, that's all. It's only your janma bhumi, it's only your pitru bhumi, not your punya bhumi. Punya bhumi is elsewhere. So if your punya bhumi is elsewhere, you don't belong to this place. That is the construction. And at the same time, a construction of history last 1,000 years by which you understand the majority are the victims. A victimhood construction. reconstruction or rewriting of history in order to project a large majority, although during the last 1000 years is the time when all the Shankaracharya mathas were established and the Bhakti movement flourished. So much happened. But still, it is painted as 1,000 years of slavery. That is another way of construction. Anybody who came here, earlier people who came here, whoever has amalgamated is all right. But then who has, for some reason, remained distinct, you do not tolerate. Tell them that you either accept the subordinate position or you get out of this place. This is another. This is again rewriting not only the textbooks, but rewiring the way we look at our past, the way we look at our neighbor, the way we look at what happened in history, the way we look at how we fought for independence, who fought for independence, how did we gain independence, what do we do with the independence. And all this is happening, has been happening even for the last 75 years. But why did we ignore that? Why did we become indifferent to that? Why did we not fight? We just thought that political parties would fight. Political leaders would fight. It's their job. But they won't fight. In fact, they never fought. It is the civil society which can fight, which will fight, which has always fought. Because political parties need votes. Sir, you are a political leader. If there are 2 votes, you need to get those 2 votes. Whatever they want to hear, you will say that, isn't it? Whereas somebody like us, who don't have to win an election, we have an independence and autonomy to say what is true and what is not true. Therefore, when things move very fast, you will realize it's moving very fast. If it is, what is that, we have, which goes round and round. When it moves very fast, we get, but if it moves slowly, Mr. Saab, like the continents move. I'm told that they move at the rate of 1.5 centimeters per annum. You don't realize that. That is how it has been moving. I'll tell you one small example of that. For almost in 75 years, almost for 60 years, everybody in this country was secular, wasn't it? Including the BJP was secular. They used to say that they were secular. In fact, they used to say that they were the only ones who were secular. All other political parties were pseudo-secular. They were genuine secular. But they were secular. They used to say they were secular. At least they felt it was important for them to validate their political presence in India by claiming to be secular. Today, they won't. They don't have to. Not only that they don't, no other political party is dared enough to say that we are a secular force in this country. On the other hand, with just a few honorable exceptions, most of the political parties and most of the political leaders say that we are also Hindu. BJP and BJP leaders used to say they were secular, but not like Communists and Congress. Today, all political parties are saying we are also Hindu, but not like BJP. Now, you see the shift in the discourse. Everybody was secular to everybody is Hindu. Secular, but not like them. Hindu, but not like them. This was the geological speed with which the political discourse terms, the terms of political discourse have changed. One. Is it inescapable? Some people tell me, some friends tell me, sir, Dr. Sri Kumar, that this is the worldwide trend. Everywhere the right wing is on the rise. What can you do? India also will go the same way. I said no. I say no because when colonialism was the trend in everywhere in the world, it was India under Mahatma Gandhi who said, no. We are going to roll it back. And we rolled it back. Against the international trend, I mean, whoever imagined that one day an empire on which the sun has never set could be rolled back. It started rolling back from India, and this kind of you call it fascism, you call it right wing, you call it whatever, can be, even if it is the worldwide global trend also, it could be rolled back from India, from here. There is absolutely no doubt. But kindly don't rely and depend on the political parties. It is the civil society. Because all this was brought about by the changes in civil society. I leave you with one question. The communal idea of changing all this has a huge army of motivated, highly motivated, dedicated, willing to put in hard work, not expecting immediate rewards, immediate results, immediate victories, not wanting publicity, photo opportunities, coverage, media, newspapers, nothing. Even if there are two people, they are ready there to talk, to expand slowly and slowly and slowly. They're willing to do that. There's a huge army which is working day in and day out against the principles and values of our constitution, of what our freedom movement stood for. See, the constitution did not just come about, somebody wrote, we should be secular, we should be plural, we should be diverse, we should be democratic. No, all those things were organically, they have come out of the long freedom movement of our country. Now, when there is an army which doesn't share this vision of India, which has come to this stage of subverting every value that is enshrined in our constitution, where is the army to defend those constitutional and republican values? If we don't have an army to defend those values, you cannot stop doctoring of textbooks. We cannot stop this WhatsApp university. You cannot stop this Vedic mathematics. You will get into progressively to look at your past or manufactured past as your glorious future. Thank you very much.